I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Finance Committee of the Peabody City Council. Present for the committee are Councilors Gould, O'Neill, Manning, Martin, and Turco, and myself as chairperson. Also present this evening are Councilors Welton, Watsoulis, Charis, Saslaw, Melville, and Rosignol. We have one item on the agenda tonight, which is FY 2021 financial update. Councilors, due to the unusual nature of the fiscal 21 budget cycle as committed by the mayor at the June budget sessions, this meeting of the Finance Committee is to provide councilors with an update on certain elements of the budget. So we're doing this tonight, and we will probably do it one or two more times in advance of tax classification, which, as you all know, take place. That hearing take place in December. So I'd like to, with that, go to the mayor for opening comment before going to the director of finance. Mr. Mayor.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, councilors. Hope everybody's well. Mr. Chairman, you said exactly the main points here. You know, it's such an unorthodox time when we did our budget review in the spring, and we really weren't able to have a full session and go through the budget in great detail, and there were a number of things that were uncertain at that time with what the state aid was going to be, how our local receipts were, the real estate taxes that were coming in. All of those questions were very much in the air and still are to a degree, but we've been able to get some information and maybe provide a little bit more clarity and understanding as to how we stand moving forward. So as we discussed back a couple of months ago, we thought it was appropriate to come in September, maybe again in October or November, and kind of give updates as to where we stand and provide a review and maybe try to, again, give some clarity as to what we know at this point. Still a lot of unanswered questions, still information we are waiting for, but we certainly have more information now than we did back in June when we had met earlier to talk about this. Our City Finance Director, Mike Gingras, and our City Auditor, Mary Martin, put together a presentation that hopefully will provide quite a bit of insight, and I'm certainly would open up a number of questions for all of you. So looking forward to taking these next step and trying to work through all of these issues. But Mr. Chairman, if it's okay, we can move forward with the presentation with Mr. Gingras and Ms. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Gingras.
Thank you. I need to share my screen. I think I can try to. No. Okay. Could people see this slides?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is run through where we ended 2020, and then we're going to look at a snapshot for July through September 15th, year to year from last year, July through September 15th, and then this year, July through September 15th. Then we're going to look at a few options or ideas that we might undertake when it comes to finalizing or looking at tax rate scenarios. So this first slide is where we ended up revenue-wise in FY 2020. At the very bottom line of the screen, it says total 100 general fund. And that first number, 160 million, is what we needed to receive in order to fund the budget. We received 156 million. We're at $3.4 million short. So we had an ending balance in real estate where we were short 800,000. Motor vehicle excise, we were short 387,000. Our hotel motel was short 247,000. Meals tax was short 212,000.
Mr. Gingras.
Yes.
I'm going to interrupt you just for a moment. Council Manning Martin, I suspect you're going to say you're having a difficult time.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Chairman.
Gingras, what we're seeing here is unfortunately a bit of an eye chart. So I think via Zoom, you can zoom in here, correct? On this end? Are you able to do that? Allison?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question as well.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Councilman Martin.
Did we get this document in advance? I didn't get it in my package. Am I
No,
there?
I had just prepared it the other day. So this is just an update, but I
Okay.
can release it to you.
Oh,
in one-
Okay, because we can't see this, Mr. Gingrich, and we didn't get it in advance, so I don't know, no offense, I don't know how helpful this is or informative this is going to be, getting all of this information with these figures in this fashion. I appreciate your effort, but we didn't get it in advance to be prepared for the meeting.
Thank you, Councilman Martin. I think with zooming in here, that should be substantially helpful. So if you could proceed, Mr. Jingers, and Councilman Martin, we will most certainly make sure that this is distributed after the meeting. Thank you.
And if I could, Mr. Chairman, usually we get information in advance of meetings so that we can prepare for meetings, not at meetings, and get it after the meeting. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gingrich.
Okay. So the general fund deficit was 3.4 million. It was comprised of a number of different
I'm gonna
items.
call for this meeting to be adjourned. Mr. Gingras, we'll get the information. We were trying to be accommodating to the council, get information as was coming in. I'm not gonna stand here and be insulted over this type of stuff, and we're trying to get information to you. We're gonna prepare, and we'll set this up for a meeting in 2 weeks. Get you the information so you have it. I'm not gonna allow, insults made to the finance team who worked very hard under trying circumstances to put something together for the city council. When we don't have to do that, this was something just in terms of trying to be partners and camaraderie, present you with information. So we'll get this information to you and do it that way.
Mr. Mayor, I appreciate the comments, but I am going to request that we press on here.
I'm not going to let my finance director or my city auditor
I
speak.
I think
So-
the comments that are made are comments from a particular counselor. I'm not sure they necessarily represent the
No, but
sentiment
I'm just
of
not
the-
going to I'm not going to allow my city finance director and city auditor to take abuse when I know how hard they worked this week. To come in and to be chastised in that way, to me, isn't fair. It isn't right. Considering what we're going on in the world, to have those type of comments made when they worked extremely hard over this. I saw them working hard on this. And to have those comments made in that type of tone, in that type of manner, I just don't think it's appropriate. So I'm directing them not to speak, not to take any further action. We'll get you the information so then we can have a more productive meeting in the eyes of one counselor and do it that way. So that's the decision, Mr. Chairman. All due respect.
Very well.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I meant no insult to your staff, Mr. Mayor, but since my tone has been pointed out as displeasing to you, my whatever tone I had was being directed towards the chair of this committee for my thinking that he was shutting me off and being dismissive. So I meant no offense to your staff. They're very hardworking. I respect them all. I'm very, very professional with them at all times, and I did not mean to offend them. I did not like being dismissed by the chair of the finance. If you don't like my tone, Mr. Chairman, you be you and I'll be me, because I didn't particularly care for your tone in the way you were addressing me. So I will defer to the chair of this committee to run the meeting, which is within his purview and his responsibility as an elected member of the city council. If you feel that you need to dictate to him how city council runs, I will leave that between you and the chair of the finance. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to respond for charges made against me by the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Manning Martin. You've now effectively insulted me on several fronts, so congratulations on that accomplishment.
Well, you know,
I-
I'm
Councilor
the only
Manning
one
Martin,
that
you
gets
no longer
insulted
ha-
up
you no
here,
longer
so
have
I
the
think
floor.
everybody should really, you know, toughen up a little bit.
Mr. Mayor, we will honor your request and convene at a later date, and appreciate you being here this evening. Mr. Gingras, Ms. Martin, thank you for attending, and we will reconvene at a later time. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
You heard the motion. Roll call.
Councilors Welton,
Yes.
Sasla,
Yes.
Mitsoulas,
I should be voting.
Mitsoulas,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Charist.
Yes.
It's just Finance Committee.
This is only a finance meeting, so,
Thank you.
yeah, but it has to be only the finance.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to strike that roll call and start over.
Councilors Gould,
Yes.
O'Neill,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
we're adjourned.
We'll begin the regular city council meeting in 2 minutes. Thank you.